Hello. So this morning I thought I'd just talk about egos and trolls. This is just going to be a quick video, but I know Dave Phelps been getting hassled by a couple of guys recently, and you often get thumbs down, for example. And I know somebody will do it today on this one because they're actually listening at the moment. But it's the same people. It's the same people, just thumbs down everything. Even if I know they don't watch it because when I looked into it before, they've only actually watched enough video for the little page to load. And I know which individuals it is. Now, why do I bring this up? Because it's egotistical. It's down to the fact that these people are not childlike. They are they do seem to be mentally children at a young age with the way they act. It's also why they're oversensitive, because they like saying abusive stuff about you, but as soon as you turn the tables, they're almost weeping online about their stuff. But it's also about a fake persona. It's all about not, JLB stuff, for example, about being a successful business person and everything else. He's not. He's really not. But at the same time, I'm not here to go, oh, you're bad at whatever. It's more a case of stop lying, stop lying. And I think that goes for a lot of these guys. They like to be abusive to you in your face, want to be argumentative with you, want to create this. But as soon as you go, oh, hang on a minute, let's have a look at you. What gives you the right to be so abusive to other people? And then, oh, you shouldn't troll the trolls. You shouldn't. No, there's a difference. See, the thing is, if you're actually structuring it around the facts rather than just making stuff up, which is what these trolls do. Example of this is when PV called Dave Phelps' wife a bar girl. That is something he's made up, and he's done it to create an issue. But when you turn around and go, hang on a minute, that's not a college degree. That's not a business. You've never done that. Where's the facts? The facts say this isn't true. That is not trolling the troll. That's actually going through the real information and going, I'm asking you this. Why are you lying about this? Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to make out you're doing X, Y, Z when we know it's not true? And a lot of this comes from YouTube, used to be the blogging, used to be the forums, people wanting to be noticed. I'm doing really well. Even my French troll has a very fake persona. If you look back to his old stuff, he's blaming everybody in the Rotary Club for his failings. How can you go, this person's bad, this person's bad, this person's bad? Hang on a minute. Let's turn the tables round. There's only one person in the room that's saying everyone else is bad. Everybody else is involved in something they shouldn't be doing. Everybody else is some sort of bad person. Or with JLB and the Scientology, they're all bad. They're all bad. One of the bizarrest things I read was relating to him talking about the former leader or the current leader of Scientology's wife being a transgender. And then these guys are in the Scientology forum. I'm not actually part of Scientology. I want to stress that. But they were just laughing at him, saying, well, they'd actually videoed the birth of the children. How did that even come about with this trans? How do you even get to that logically? There's no way logically that this makes any sense. And that's the whole point. There is no logic to it. You're trying to push logic into a round peg in a square hole because a lot of it's for YouTube views, fair enough. But often it's more to do with something in the background. If it wasn't, they wouldn't react so badly when you get personal and start looking into what they've been doing with their lives. Because they like to run everyone else down. They really do. They like to be in your face, trying to run you down. But you say, hang on a minute. Let's have you're the one who wants to create these arguments. Let's have a look at you. What is your success? And if you find one, please let me know, because I haven't found any of them that have actually been successful in anything. They like to tell you they are. They certainly do. But I haven't found any of them that have been successful in any form whatsoever. Myself, I measure what I do in a case of, this is my life. I'm happy with my life. I don't really care about anything beyond that. I'm not trying to win any competitions. I don't care what other people's opinions are relating to what they think my life is, because at the end of the day, I'm living the life I want, which is, I think, the main thing. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by greed. I'm motivated from being happy. I'm motivated from being able to spend the majority of my time with my family. That's what motivates me. And I think that's where some of these guys get a great, because they're like, it's about money. I couldn't care less about money. And I know some people, even some of my friends, say, well, it's all right until you have no money. But which is true. But at the same time, I don't make it my main focus, because I find that if you turn around and make it your only focus, its cost in other ways is much worse. At the end of the day, when you start having issues around that you're at work all the time, or you're constantly trying to upgrade the car, or you're chasing the next job, or whether you're working in a job or working in a project, the real result is you've moved away from what you want in life. And that's the main focus on my channel, is to say there's other ways of living out there. It doesn't mean my life suits everybody, and I'm not trying to even suggest that. What I'm saying is, this is what I do. It works for me. I'm happy with doing that. If somebody else wants to do something similar, or at least gets them to think about other ways of living, then that's, for me, that's great. But these guys, they don't want that. And I'm not saying just I'm talking about in general. They do not want anybody to be doing whatever they're doing. They want to create arguments. They want to get involved in other people's lives, but not in any positive way whatsoever. And I suppose it gets down to rejection in some ways, because when you look at this stuff with my French troll, he got rejected by the Rotary Club. He got rejected by the Philippines community, the vlog community, and the forum community, and the Yahoo group community, because of the way he is. At no point does he sit there and look at himself and go, maybe it's me. Maybe I should adapt the way I am to other people, and maybe things will work out. No, I know I'm going to do things against these people because I hate them, and blah, blah, blah. And the same goes for these other people. And I've heard the hobo talking about his Fight Club model. What a load of rubbish that is. The stuff that is on YouTube now, I would say you have to be more and more careful about the crap that gets put on there. The first thing I want to say on that is YouTube is experiencing some backlash from advertisers. So right now, if you're reliant on that income, which some of these people do some of it for, but what they're doing is not because it's the only reason. At the end of the day, for them, it's easy traffic, but at the same time, their persona, their real persona, is reflected in the stuff they create, because that's the whole point of creativity. It's about an individual. It's not about oh, this is an easy hit or whatever. It's an easy hit, but your logical thinking is abusive, and that's why they do it. And there's no way of getting away from that. That is the way they think. I've lost my chain of thought. Oh yeah, but the advertisers, there's some big advertisers pulling out. Johnson & Controls, GM Motors, Marks and Spencers. Not Johnson Controls, Johnson & Johnson. There's a lot of big people pulling out based on ethics. Now, at some point, I assume Google will be having some meetings with these people, as well as trying to stem some of the stuff they don't want to be advertised on. And I think that's where this will start hitting people in the pocket, because they'll start going, this channel isn't friendly, this channel's not right. And I was talking to somebody yesterday about this. I apologize if I can't remember who it was, because I end up talking to so many people and working at the same time. The thing with the advertising is you can screen out where it goes. But I would also say some of these channels do not screen anything anyway. They don't put the type of content's X, Y, Z, which means it's very easy for it to fall on the wrong channels. Because quite simply, if you turn around and put yours as child friendly and it's just an abusive troll stood there shouting at the screen, unless it's actually flagged or monitored by YouTube, what's the odds on it being picked up? Because YouTube does not recognize what content's in a video yet, not to that level. But I could see an approved list appearing, where they start having, like, even YouTube's now get graded. So I assume that there could actually be a movement more to make it in line with grading the quality of the YouTube videos. The content creator then becomes screened, so they already know that you can trust whatever goes on that one, because they have 100% no profanity, no religion, no politics, etc. And then you've got the other ones right at the bottom where it's so random, but at the same time, some of it is a bit too close to too close for comfort. So they don't get the advertising revenue. So I think YouTube may end up like that. And in all honesty, I do see that the best channels are normally completely random anyway. The abusive ones don't really make that much money because it has a small audience. But it has an initial hit value because people want to know what's going on. So when things are going backwards and forwards, when people are arguing, it creates a little flurry of activity. At the same time, if you ignore it, those traffics die on their backside because there is no content beyond the abuse. And I just wanted to stress that if you don't get too involved in it, then don't worry about it. It's best not to watch it. But on top of that, a lot of it is egos. A lot of it is wanting to be better known in the vlog community. And I do think that some of these guys just can't produce anything better. And I'm not saying it from an egotistical viewpoint. I'm saying it because why else would you do it? Because like with Hobo's somewhere new every couple of days. If he just walked down the street, he would get more traffic. Just shut his mouth and just walk down the street, videoed it and shoved it on YouTube, he would make more money. Because if he had traffic where he was going to, say, shopping mall, the ferry crossing, the plane flight, the airport, one location you get like 10 videos over a day or 2 days. Not difficult. I did 5 videos at the weekend where none of them have sound. They're all doing pretty well on the Spanish channel. It took me a couple of days to upload them, but the fact is, they're getting like a few hundred hits in the first day, etc. That's okay. How much work has gone into it? I've had to sit there and swear at the camera and threaten people with abuse and insult OFWs or anything else, or try to abuse people, such as walking along the street, talking to gay prostitutes and looking them up and down in the camera and going, that's an easy hit for you, for YouTube. No, which is what I see a certain individual doing, but I do wonder what happens when the camera goes off as well, because it disgusts me. I'll be honest with you, it does disgust me. Those ladyboy prostitutes are doing it because they need the money. It's not a hobby. It's they've got family that they're funding or whatever. It's not a nice business to be in, and I do find it rather vulgar that an Australian is wandering around exploiting these people for money for himself, but may also be using them for other services once the camera goes off, because a lot of those videos it simply just switches off after he's chatted with them. So I'll leave it at that. But the main thing is, if you're going to be vlogging, you're going to get some of these people. The best way to do it is ignore it. But if they're already well known, you'll probably be able to find content you can link straight to them. Jeff's got there's an affluence marketing blog. Hang on, let me find the name. Yeah, it's affluencemarketing.blogspot.com, which covers pretty much Jeff's life. When I say it covers Jeff's life, it's got everything about his little businesses and all sorts in there. Because it's like sort of counteracting his persona by actually showing his real life. Not because it's vindictive, it's actually just to say this guy's lying about pretty much everything. But stuff like that is constructive in a sense. If you believe this guy, go have a look at his stuff, make your own decisions, and then move on. Or simply just move on at day one because they ain't worth the time. But if you do get somebody doing it when you're vlogging, just direct them to, say like with that JLB guy, just direct them to the blog. Don't even get into the argument. Say, look, I've seen your stuff. I don't want to know. Goodbye. And then move on. And I'm sure PV's got stuff, I think, but I'm not 100% who does what with PV because I don't really get involved. I don't see any content value in PV. I never have done. He's too abusive. He's too abusive and opinionated on very specific things, but even he's got hypocrisy where he actually doesn't do the stuff he talks about as well. So I just ignore it. But anyway, I'm going to cut that one off because quite simply, I think we've covered the topic pretty well. But simply, don't worry about them. They're going to be there. They're going to stay there. They're going to be, you know, when they get rejection, they react more. When they are getting a lot more traffic, they feed off it. It's just the way they are. They ain't going to go away. You know, at the end of the day, they need it. They need it. I need to be noticed. You know, it's that craving of attention that goes on for all of them. And I say that it's literally all of them, because otherwise, why would you bother? Thanks for watching.